Holly from Your Past is a Gift. It's been a while. There's so many things that have happened since the last few videos that I put together at Christmas time. So one of the things that I've been remembering in the last few weeks that I wanted to share were all the years that I spent as an adult where I didn't want to be a part of, you know, when you go to parties and the socializing side of it. I just didn't want to be a part of any of that. You know, I didn't find the adults around me interesting enough to engage with them, and I didn't feel that I was interesting enough to share anything that they would want to know about. And so for many years throughout my adult life, I felt awkward being around other adults. I didn't know what to talk about. I didn't, feel comfortable to talk about anything, really, because I thought, as you start talking, are they really interested? Do they really want to know what I'm talking about? Or are they just being polite, And with the years, I've learned to really read people, their expressions, their mannerisms, what they're trying to say without words. And there's been so many times where I've been talking to people and you can tell immediately, if you're paying attention, you can tell they're just not interested. Their mind is somewhere else and they need to be somewhere else. And, for those moments, I wish I could have got my time back because I was so excited to see them because I hadn't seen them for so long. And the last thing they wanted to do was to be there catching up with me, So for all of you out there that feel awkward being around other people of your age, it's a normal thing, it's just part of growing up, of your evolving through life. I found through the years I was very good at relating to children. I found them honest and they were spontaneous. They would say exactly what they thought at that moment. There was no beating around any bush. There was no trying to be polite. There was no, if they didn't want to talk to you, they would tell you, I'm tired, I don't want to talk to you right now. Or no, I don't want to do that right now. Children don't know another way, when they're young enough. As they get older, they learn to lie and they learn to manipulate and they learn the adult world. But before that time, when they're really little, they don't know anything but to say what they're thinking or to say what they're feeling. And I could relate to that. I always found that honesty was just, to me, was so comforting that I knew exactly what they were thinking, what they were feeling, because they would tell me. I remember in one class, I was sitting with this little girl and she had this tiny little button nose and so did her mum. And she looked at me and she said, wow, your nose is huge. And of course to her, my nose was huge because hers was so tiny, But I just found the honesty was so beautiful, that she could just say that. And her mum was like, oh, don't say that. That's not nice. But I thought it was wonderful, that she felt comfortable enough to say that to me, not have to feel bad about it, because in her eyes, it was a huge nose, compared to her tiny little nose. And so many other moments, that I've had with children, just like that one. And adults, they've lost that ability, to have that honesty, to say what they're thinking, what they're feeling. If they're not interested, if they're in a hurry and can't stop to have a conversation, just say it. Look, it's not a good time. I'll catch up with you another time. Or look, I just don't have time to catch up with you. There's too much going on in my life, and I just don't have the time. Why can't we have that honesty, with other adults? And it's taken me the bigger part of my adult life to be able to communicate with adults as well as I do with children. To understand that many times when an adult is saying something to you, especially when they're talking to you in anger and it feels like they're attacking you for something, to understand that it's not really about you. Many times when they're in that anger and they're expressing that anger, it's really about them and how they're feeling about themselves. And it's tricky because children don't have that filter. If they're cranky about something, they will tell you, I'm cranky about it, I don't like it. They will tell you, until that's taken away from them and as children we're made to feel bad about expressing exactly what we're thinking and feeling, and we're told to cover it up and lie about it and not say, rather than embracing that So many adults, just like me, they just don't know how to interact. There's been so many I've met along the way that prefer dogs or prefer anything else to having to deal with adults. And it's for that very reason, because we don't understand that many times when an adult is talking, they've learnt to cover up and not tell the truth. We've been conditioned to do that from very little. And so, because it's going to hurt someone else's feelings, or they're going to get offended, or they're going to get upset, if you say something. And so we learn to not, eventually, to not say what we're thinking, to not say what we're feeling, because other people will get offended, And so it's this whole little dance that adults do that make it so difficult for other adults to sometimes connect, because they don't want to do that anymore. They don't want to do that. It's like, it feels like a game, that no one's ever going to win, and you just lose that wanting to connect to others, because it's just all too hard. It's all too hard to try and work out what it is that they're actually trying to say. So the next few videos will be more about this, about learning to read what other people are really trying to tell you. Okay, my darlings? Because it's a lot simpler than you think it is. We complicate it a lot. It's a lot easier to understand what other people are trying to say, even without words. All right. I love you guys. It's been such a long time. I couldn't wait to get back to making the videos. Okay, remember to click like and subscribe below so you don't miss any of the messages. And please share, because sharing is caring. Okay, I'll see you in the next video, okay? Bye for now.